goes through emotions like in the second period when it looked like they tied it, and then video coach gets an assist, and then you guys look like you go ahead, and then that gets called off, and then they score, and then you score 16 seconds later?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we have iPads and stuff on the bench, so we kind of know what the call is going to be, and I think there's not really many things more deflating than when you score a goal and then the other team just goes and challenges it right away. So that's kind of the unfortunate side of the video replay, but you know, that's the rules, and if you can slow the game down that much, then teams will be able to challenge it and do that stuff. So yeah, I guess we went 1 for 1. We kind of traded them off there, so I guess we're even.
What's the importance of secondary scoring, also with Connor and Reeves getting assists and Camp scoring?
It's huge for our confidence. Again, it's little things that we do that kind of goes unnoticed on the score sheet night in and night out, and we think we've done a pretty good job of that. But you know, it's no secret we obviously haven't put up a ton of points this season, but I mean, as long as we're winning hockey games, we don't care who scores the goals. And, you know, scoring is going to come and go from different guys up and down the lineup. The key thing is once playoff happens that everybody's contributing in their own way. And again, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a different guy every single night. It might be your 13 forward for most of the year, kind of like what happened to me last year, and then it could be, you know, your goal scorer stepping up. So again, we don't care in this locker room who scores the goals as long as we get the 2 points. So that's what matters to us.
Thank you. Joseph, how would you assess your performance tonight?
I felt good in that. Felt like I was good technically. Like I think Curtis and I talked about a couple of things. I thought I did a good job implementing a couple of those things. And other than that, I thought our team looked really good, and it was good by us to close out a close game like that against a good team.
Early in the second, it looked like you may have tweaked something. You were kind of looked to be in discomfort. Were you?
I'm totally fine. Yeah, just sometimes quick plays like that, you like mess something up, but it goes away. So yeah, it's totally fine.
What was the emotional like in the second period with the Islanders goal called off, and then your goal called off, and then the Islanders tied, and then Steve scores like 16 seconds later?
Yeah, I mean, good job by us striking back both times they score. You know, stuff happens during the game, and happy that theirs got called off. But yeah, no, it was a good job by us, you know, striking back. So.
What did you make of Lorenz's goal?
Yeah, it was a really nice shot. So it was good to see him put the puck in there.
It's like that Tanev in front of you, the efficiency that he plays with the defensive zone.
Yeah, I mean, you guys see it out there. He's very underrated, I think, even by when people talk about how good he is defensively. Like, he is so poised with the puck, and he makes great plays and blocks a lot of shots. So he's a goalie's best friend back there.
What did you see in that short-handed breakaway they had in the third? Morgan's trying to get back. You obviously stay with the guy.
Yeah, I think I did. Mo did a good job kind of disrupting him a bit and allowed me to do my job.
Were you thinking of going out to try and get to the puck before he did, or did you?
I think he probably would have beat me too if I went out. I think anytime that happens like that, for a split second you do, and the puck kind of slowed down, so I don't think there was a point in me coming out. I think he would have wheeled right around me.
Now it is, right? Not quite, but not bad. Wins away.
Yes. Did you say able to grind one out?
We grinded one out. Yeah, for sure. Pretty non-event game, but, you know, not pretty, but we grinded it out. Our goalie was good, and, you know, we figured out a way to do it, so, which was good.
In a game like that, the secondary scoring of your lesser lights, so to speak.
Yeah, I thought the Dewar line was good tonight. You know, it provided energy for us and got us a big goal, but, you know, used them in situations, and I thought that they got things going again a little bit for us. And, you know, even Max Domi's line, I thought, provided energy for us tonight, which was good. We needed it.
The Leafs center dilemma: who can strengthen the roster? If you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan like me, you know the team's center depth has been a constant concern this season. With Auston Matthews set to return from a mysterious upper body injury next week, the excitement of having our star back is palpable. However, there are still serious issues to address in the center position to keep the team competitive and, of course, fuel our playoff dreams. David Kampf, a key piece in the center rotation, is sidelined with a lower body injury. As if that weren't enough, Kaye Jarnkrok is still recovering from surgery, leaving another gap in the lineup. Max Domi, expected to be a versatile asset, has been placed on injured reserve, further aggravating the situation after missing consecutive practices due to lingering pains. To sum it up, the Leafs are missing 4 functional centers, and the pressure to act is mounting. James Myrtle, a respected Leafs analyst and contributor to The Athletic, highlighted a series of potential trade targets to address this dilemma during his appearance on the J.D. Bunke's podcast. Among the names mentioned, two stood out: Nick Jugstad and, for the nostalgic fans, a possible reunion with Ryan O'Reilly. Jugstad seems to be Myrtle's favorite, and for good reason. The player, who signed a 2-year deal with the Utah Hockey Club last offseason, carries a manageable $2.1 million cap hit, which is essential for a team as salary cap-strapped as the Leafs. Additionally, standing at 6 feet 6 inches and weighing 205 pounds, he would bring not only physicality but also consistent offensive contributions. Jugstad is the most viable option for the Leafs right now, Myrtle stated on the podcast. And he's right. Experienced and versatile, Jugstad has played for several teams, including the Florida Panthers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Minnesota Wild, and Edmonton Oilers, and could quickly adapt to the Leafs' dynamic. With an affordable contract and a solid track record, he offers a practical solution without sacrificing too many future assets. However, it's impossible to ignore the possibility of a Ryan O'Reilly return. Yes, we know he chose the Nashville Predators last summer in search of a quieter environment, but the Leafs management still holds him in high regard. The 2019 Stanley Cup winning captain with the St. Louis Blues is precisely the type of player any contender would love to have on their roster. However, the cost of bringing him back would be steep, both in terms of trade assets and cap space adjustments, as Nashville or a third team would need to retain part of his salary. I don't think the O'Reilly scenario is entirely out of reach, Myrtle said, showing that there's optimism within the organization. However, there are doubts about how much it's worth investing in a 33-year-old player, even with his impeccable credentials. Meanwhile, cheaper internal options like Steven Lorentz, Connor Dewar, Pontus Holmberg, and Fraser Minton have been mentioned. But let's be honest, these names might serve as short-term stopgaps, but they're far from offering the stability and impact the team needs. The pressure is all on GM Brad Treliving. He knows that despite the Leafs' solid performance so far, the center position is crucial to sustaining any championship aspirations. With the trade deadline approaching, Treliving has likely intensified his efforts to finalize a deal. And we, the fans, are eagerly awaiting good news. For now, all we can do is trust that the team can weather this tough phase and hope a solution, whether it's Jugstad, O'Reilly, or another name, arrives before things spiral out of control. After all, as we all know, the Leafs don't have the luxury of wasting another season with a promising but incomplete roster. The time to act is now. The Leafs center dilemma, expanding on the potential solutions. The Toronto Maple Leafs, amidst another promising yet tumultuous season, face one of their most pressing challenges, addressing a depleted center lineup that threatens to derail their momentum. While the return of Auston Matthews is a beacon of hope, the broader picture remains dire, requiring urgent action from the front office. With Kampf, Jarnkrok, and Domi sidelined, the team's depth has been stretched thin. The immediate impact is clear on both ends of the ice. Defensively, the Leafs are struggling to suppress opposing top lines without reliable two-way centers. Offensively, puck distribution and power play setups have been less dynamic, as the makeshift lineups lack the same chemistry. This imbalance underscores the necessity for reinforcements. Nick Jugstad, as highlighted by James Myrtle, presents the most realistic trade option. His affordable contract and towering physical presence align perfectly with the Leafs' needs. Beyond his imposing stature, Jugstad brings versatility. He can play both center and wing, a flexibility that would allow head coach Sheldon Keefe to adjust the lineup dynamically. However, acquiring Jugstad isn't without complications. The Utah Hockey Club, formerly the Arizona Coyotes, is currently rebuilding but may still demand a premium return for their experienced forward. The Leafs will likely need to part with a mid-tier prospect or draft pick to make the deal work. With their prospect pool already thin, Treliving faces a tough decision. Another name that excites fans and analysts alike is Ryan O'Reilly. The former Conn Smythe winner and Stanley Cup champion has a proven track record of elevating teams in high-stakes situations. His leadership during his brief stint with Toronto last season left a lasting impression. Yet, the Predators have little incentive to move him unless the offer is overwhelming. Should the Leafs pursue O'Reilly, it would almost certainly require a multi-asset package. A first-round pick and a promising young player like Nick Robertson might need to be part of the conversation. Additionally, Nashville would have to retain salary, a process that often involves a third-party team to facilitate. The logistics are challenging but not insurmountable. Internal options like Pontus Holmberg and Fraser Minton offer short-term relief but lack the experience needed for a deep playoff run. Holmberg has shown flashes of potential, but his limited NHL exposure raises questions about his readiness for a consistent role. Minton, while promising, is still developing and would be better served continuing his growth in the minors. A wild card option could be exploring European leagues or waiver claims to unearth an overlooked talent. Teams like the Vegas Golden Knights and Colorado Avalanche have found gems in unconventional ways, and the Leafs scouting department may need to cast a wider net to uncover an affordable, immediate solution. Another factor complicating the Leafs' decisions is the looming salary cap crunch. With Matthews' extension set to kick in soon, Toronto must be mindful of every financial commitment. Adding a high-priced center now could limit flexibility during the off-season, forcing Treliving to juggle short-term needs against long-term sustainability. Trade timing will also play a pivotal role. Acting quickly could stabilize the team and prevent further slip-ups in the standings, but it may come at the cost of negotiating leverage. Alternatively, waiting closer to the deadline could yield better deals as selling teams grow more desperate. The risk, however, is enduring several more weeks of uncertainty. Sheldon Keefe's role in navigating this storm can't be overstated. His ability to extract maximum effort from an injury-riddled lineup will be crucial. Keefe has already experimented with unconventional line combinations, but the lack of true centers limits his tactical options. A new acquisition would provide the stability he needs to implement a more structured game plan. The Leafs locker room has remained resilient through adversity, with veterans like John Tavares and Morgan Rielly stepping up as vocal leaders. However, even their efforts may not be enough to overcome the absence of key personnel. Reinforcements are not just a luxury, they're a necessity. For fans, the anxiety is palpable. After years of playoff heartbreak, this season feels like another chapter in the saga of unmet expectations. Yet, there's cautious optimism. The team has shown glimpses of brilliance, and the addition of a solid center could be the missing piece that transforms them from contenders to genuine threats. As the trade rumors swirl, one thing is certain: the next few weeks will be critical in shaping the Leafs season. Whether it's Bjugstad, O'Reilly, or an unexpected name, the decision made by Brad Treliving and his staff could define not just this campaign, but the team's trajectory for years to come. For now, we wait, hopeful that the Leafs will seize the moment and finally deliver on their immense potential. Will the Leafs make their move? As the speculation intensifies, the Leafs fan base is holding its collective breath, waiting for signs of a breakthrough.